Hey, what's up, guys? Tugi here, back again with another episode of my Ottawa Senators franchise mode series right here on NHL 18. And today, thankfully, as compared to the previous episode, we get to get right down to business. Most of last episode consisted of us making trades, changing up really our entire organizational depth. But at the end, we also simmed through the first month of the season, and the team is doing really well point-wise, but that doesn't mean that we don't have some areas of concern, or more specifically, some players that we are a little bit concerned about, the first of which is, without a doubt, Kevin Fiala. 24 years old, 84 overall, 4 assists on the season through 12 games. Now, of course, we picked him up. He and Montour were the big RFA signings that we previously had. What we're going to do with Fiala, I'm not quite sure. Tyson Jost is doing well on the second line. The bottom line is Nikita Gusev is, in fact, that insurance policy. You can look at his stats. There's no doubt he would deliver on the top line. He's doing well on the third line. He also has power play time, so that's a factor. He's on that first power play unit with Stone, Borgstrom, Fiala, and Erik Karlsson. So we are trying to use him as effectively as we can. There is a chance that maybe Kevin Fiala doesn't stick around on this team. We could play him on the third line. As a two-way player, he's not terrible. We wouldn't be getting the most out of him offensively. But, 3.7 for the rest of the year. Maybe we look to make a move. There has also still been discussion as far as whether or not we intervene in the Matt Barzal situation. That being that the New York Islanders have not quite figured out how to handle the fact that he wants $8 million this season. And, the Islanders and Red Wings are both interested. Again, if we were to do the whole, hey, knock it down to 1 year, drop it down to $5.425 million, we could, in fact, pick up Barzal for pretty damn cheap. Needless to say, he is worth more than a first and a third. Doing that is, of course, viewed as cheapening a series to some people. And admittedly, I haven't set the ground rules for what the series is because there's no real point. I mentioned this in the comment section the other day, and of course we've had this conversation before, where what is realistic to one person is not realistic to another. So there's no point in laying down those ground rules. I just try to keep it middle ground as much as I can and just go with what I think is the best decision at the time as Alex Formenton goes down to injury. That's actually our first injury this year. We do have the depth, though. We'll put him back in the lineup whenever he's healthy. Point being, with Barzal, I have until the end of this month to decide whether or not I want to make a move for him. As we're playing 500 hockey right now at the start of November. Formenton's back. We'll put him in the lineup down in Belleville. Take Eric Selleck out and put Formenton in. Actually, now that we're here, Fiala, have you improved? No goal, 3 points, Kevin? Really? What's the problem, Kevin? Everyone else is doing well. I changed Stone from a power forward to a two-way just to check it out. He's still doing okay. Jost, 14 points. Duchesne's been a little bit disappointing. Colin White I changed back to a two-way. He's looking all right. Gusev is killing it. You know what? Let's put Gusev up there with on the top line, and we'll drop Fiala down to the third because Jost has been okay. Oh, boy. Again, we have until the end of this month. I would say the cutoff, mainly because of the delay in signing someone, is really about a week. I'm going to sim these next 3 games against LA, Montreal, and Nashville, and I can't help but hope that Detroit has been able to sign him, as we have won 3 straight games and a good stretch here after, losing, splitting the first 2 games. It's been a good month. We're continuing to win games. We have a 15-5-1 record. But man, that Barzal signing potentially. We are in first place in our division, 1 point ahead of Tampa, but of course they have a game at hand. We're on a really good pace. Borgstrom's looked amazing. And obviously, it would kind of be nice if the AI GMs were smart enough to not let a Borgstrom walk, to not have Barzal be in this situation. Please tell me, to make this decision easy for me, that Detroit has signed him. They have not. Why does it list Detroit as being interested if they can't afford him either? That is my question. The funny thing is, I had someone contact me recently saying, hey, I think it was Mamba. I think it was Mamba from my Twitch chat, so shout out to Mamba if you're watching this. He mentioned that, I tried to fix the RFA situation by acquiring, basically he tried to help a team free up cap space. But instead of that team using the newly found cap space to re-sign their RFA, they just signed other random free agents and the RFA continued to sit there. So it's just like, God damn. I look at the value. God, and I could get him for a first and a third. And they just drafted Ciofino. 86 at 19. Jesus Christ. Why did you sign Blake Wheeler? Why? Why do you have Demirs? Why? Why are you so dumb? And then you accepted the Bobby Ryan trade. But that was after. You still didn't sign him, and you were willing to take Bobby Ryan's contract without me retaining any salary. Oh my God, it's Garth Snow Simulator 2018. Sorry, Islanders fans, but you know. Cal Clutterbuck, Andrew Ladd, you know. They also have Dan Hamhuis. Like, you can't... Like, just look at these contracts. Why did you sign Ty Ratty for $3 million a year? For 3 years, if not more. No disrespect to Ty Ratty, but it's almost as if I should just take Matt Barzal. It's called, we've called it in the past, paying the stupid tax. It's not the Islanders' fault. It's just the way the GMs are programmed. I don't know what to do. I just don't. But otherwise, do you know how long Barzal is going to sit there? They're not going to be able to sign him next year, are they? I need to look this up, okay? If Matt Barzal is going to have to sit there for another season, then screw it. I'm going to acquire him at this point. Let me take a look at the Islanders situation. So next year, they have how much in cap? It drops by $11 million, does it? Hold on. Let me see. Normally okay, hold on. So again, 2021, or 2020, 2021, and then the next year, normally it drops off. So their total salary drops to $66 million, and the cap right now is about $82. So they would technically be able to sign him. Pulock, Nelson, Pelech, Beauvillier, and Bracco all end up as free agents. So they might be able to sign him. Also defensively, Hamhuis. Alright, so they should be able to re-sign him if they don't completely botch it. But otherwise, that means Barzal is sitting for the rest of the year. Just, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't know what to do. I just don't. Do I take Matt Barzal? Do the Islanders pay the stupid tax? If I do get Barzal, do I send him back to the Islanders but make them pay the stupid tax in taking certain draft picks? I find it unfair that someone like Matt Barzal is going to sit there for the rest of this season and he's going to do absolutely nothing at 23 years old, 92 overall. I have to. I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do. I'm dumbfounded. I don't know why, but this game always finds a way to surprise me with how bad these AI GMs could be. What would this be? A first and a third. A first and a third. I'm going to do it. Whether or not we keep him will be up to you. This might be a shorter episode because of this. Do we need Matt Barzal? Not technically, but we could certainly use him with Kevin Fiala underperforming. To be completely honest, I mean, again, I could keep Fiala there, but we're not going to get the most out of him, and he's going to want a bigger contract. Tyson Jost, as well, is doing okay and still has room to develop. He's a perfect second-line guy. Gusev is fine with being on the third line. I could just sign him and trade away Kevin Fiala. And then, yeah, we'd end up with Barzal and Borgstrom, which is ridiculous, just off of the free agents, the free agent market, not to mention how we got Fiala and Montour. But, I mean, just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure he'll accept the offer, and we'll take it from there. We'll see what happens. Once I have Barzal on this team, once he's secured, we can make our decision from there. But I find it ridiculous that, I mean, the Bruins as well, it was Heinen and DeBrusk that sat out an entire damn season. It's a massive issue. Barzal has accepted the offer. We'll play the San Jose Sharks here as we get the win. So we're continuing our hot pace right now despite some underperforming players. We'll sim this game against the Capitals. We get an offer for Tyler Ennis. Absolutely not. We lose 2-0 to Washington. We'll sim this game against Philadelphia. And, of course, the Islanders can't match it, so we've sent a first and a third to the New York Islanders. Matt Barzal is on this team. We have lost 2 straight. Let's sim to December 1st against Anaheim. Again, had we not signed him before that date, he just would have been locked out for the entire season. So on December 1st, we have a 16-7-1 record. We've lost our last 2 games, but the month of November was very kind to us. We are still on pace. Toronto's doing very well this season, too, so it's a dogfight in this division. Henrik Borgstrom is a monster. 28 points in 24 games. Absolutely killing it. We'll take a look at the lines here just to see how this team is done. Nikita Gusev has power play time. He's on the top line, 24 points. Again, with those numbers, it's not surprising. He should be a higher overall, but the fact is, in real life, I mean, it's similar. He's not that good defensively, and he's not a physical player whatsoever. So, there you go. But he is going to be listed as a third-line guy as a result. Borgstrom's killing it. Stone's doing all right. Jost on 20 points. Duchesne on 16 points. I'm good with that. And 16 points for Colin White. I'm good with that. The top 6 right now is delivering. Kevin Fiala has actually picked it up on the third line. Up to 4 goals and 9 assists. 8 points for Logan Brown. And the 17 points for Ty Ronning. So Fiala and Ronning are also proving to be a pretty good combination. Yes, I changed Logan Brown to a two-way as well. I'm not sure what to have him as, a two-way or a power forward. Regardless, I'm not really expecting points out of him, but if he could get back to 30 this year, I'd be cool with that. He's well below his pace, though. And then the fourth line of Paul, 4 points, but an even plus-minus. 8 points for Smith and 8 points for Gagne. This team's doing incredibly well. Thomas Chabot, 4 points, a +1. Carlson's killing it so far. Dobson only 1 point, a little bit disappointing, but overall, and that third pairing, the plus-minus, I'm very happy with. Timmins and Foote have been great so far. And the goaltending. Shesterkin's having a Vezina-caliber year so far. 22 appearances, 14 wins, a .933 save percentage, a 2.08 GAA with 4 shutouts. Skinner's kind of dropped off a little bit as the backup, but that's okay. I mean, regardless, between him or Gustafsson, you know, I didn't really expect them to do all that well. So the gigantic question is, of course, you know, we'll get to that in a second. Formenton, nah. Gersic and Kravtsov are killing it. Let's see, Igor Malkin's doing well. Bowers is doing well. That was the main thing I wanted to check. Kotkaniemi being on the fourth line does seem like a little bit of a waste. Although some people are like, oh, I don't think it matters. So it's like, screw it, whatever, we'll leave him there. Defensively, of course, we ended up getting Ty Smith. I'm happy with where both of our teams are at this point in time. And Tomac's having a great season as well so far down in the AHL. So obviously we have a situation on our hands here. And one way or another, and I mentioned this at the start of the previous episode with Henrik Borgstrom. If I sign, actually, I don't know if I mentioned it in the episode. I definitely mentioned it in the comments. I think I mentioned it in the episode. Just as far as damned if I do, damned if I don't, as far as whether or not I signed him or not. I'm sure there are some people who are like, hey, yeah, I know Borgstrom's killing it, but that, you know, it kind of sucks. Send him back to Florida because they're idiots. Which I admittedly wouldn't be completely against that option. And we could recover from it. All I'd have to pretty much do is move Colin White to center and actually probably just call up Gersic or Kravtsov to play a better role. So we could recover from that. Matt Barzal, though. Matt Barzal. What do we do with Barzal? I honestly don't know the answer. We gave up a first and a third. We're going to be a playoff team this year, barring an absolutely horrific collapse. What do we do? Again, Borgstrom, I couldn't really move back to Florida, even if I wanted to. Actually, I mean, because of the one-year deal. And the way we signed him, I would have to take back some salary. I'd have to bail them out of the Goligoski deal. I'd have to bail them out of the Verbata deal. I could technically send him back, like Goligoski, Verbata, and Como, and then just stack up 2 first-round picks. And that would be the Panthers' way of, paying the stupid tax, is having to give me their draft picks. Same thing with the New York Islanders. Again, we've already looked at their team. They're wanting to trade their picks. We know that they have some terrible contracts on that team. Absolutely awful, including the Bobby Ryan deal, of course. Why they're willing to accept that, I have no idea. But all we'd really have to do is take back Hamhuis. We could probably get Pulock out of the deal, maybe take back Nelson. I could make it work where we could send Barzal back. Easily. Easily. It's just a matter of whether or not we do that. Or again, do we make them pay the stupid tax for horribly mismanaging their cap situation, and we keep Matt Barzal? Because again, no other team has that cap space to sign him, apparently. $5 million. I don't know why San Jose didn't go for him. San Jose could have gone for him. Vancouver could have gone for him. Vegas certainly could have gone for him, but they are at 50 contracts. That's why. So we always run into this situation in our franchise modes because of the AI's complete and utter incompetence in terms of managing their cap. And as a result, we now have access to Matt Barzal for a first and a third round pick. And I have to know, I want your input. What do we do with Barzal? Do we keep him, or do we move him back to the Islanders for really whatever we can get? More than likely draft picks. But do we move him back to the Islanders knowing that we'd have to take back a shit contract or two for the rest of the year, but then we get, essentially we view it as a free first round pick. Although I wouldn't even try to get ours back. I'd try to get theirs. That is the question. We're having a good season. Certain players have bounced back, even if, for Kevin Fiala, it's not ideal to be playing him on the third pairing, especially when he has to be re-signed heading in the next season. And I suppose that's the other thing I wanted to check here, is what the re-sign situation is looking like for some of these players. So if we take a look at all expiring, yeah. The option to do what we've done this season for Borgstrom and Barzal, that's not going to be there after this season anyway, more than likely, because you are going to have certain players that want a ton of money. Now, thankfully, the only person who's not really looking to re-sign is Kevin Fiala at the moment. Zach Smith also isn't wanting to re-sign, but he's asking for a much better contract than I would have thought. I'm willing to sign Zach Smith for 1 year at $2 million if he would actually be willing to accept that. We do have $42 million to work with, though. Like the Cizikas contract will come off the books. The Wolanin contract will come off the books. So we're still in an incredible situation right now. It's just, what do we do? After signing Barzal and Borgstrom, taking advantage of the AI's complete incompetence because they don't give us enough of a challenge, what do we do? So I planned, you heard me at the start of this episode, I planned on simming at least up to the trade deadline and making a decent amount of progress in this episode. However, the game has changed. Should I have just left Barzal as a free agent and had him just not be a threat? Yeah, maybe. And maybe they would have re-signed him. But that's not what I did. Question is, what do we do now with Matt Barzal? So I'm going to leave it at that. There's really nothing else to discuss here. Let me know down in the comment section below what we do moving forward and whether or not we unleash the ridiculous Barzal-Borgstrom pairing, at least for the rest of this season. So for now, shorter episode, but it is what it is. I'm looking forward to your feedback for sure. Some people are going, oh boy, are some people going to hate that I even signed him for half a second. But again, if I trade him, it's to send him back to the team that he belongs on. Otherwise, the Islanders weren't going to have him anyway, so we might as well have him, right? Right. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the support. Twitter and Twitch links are in the description. Check those out. Give me a follow on both those platforms if you haven't already done so. And until next time, have a good one. Take it easy. I will catch you later. And goodbye.